Welcome to our channel Valuable Coins All World. In this video, I gave you information about United States of America Washington quarter dollar, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please see this full video. Thanks. Top 1. The Washington quarter dollar from 1965 is a highly sought-after coin by collectors. While most coins from this year were produced in large quantities, there's something special about the 1965 quarter that makes it stand out. The Washington quarter is one of the most iconic coins in American history, featuring George Washington's portrait on the obverse and a majestic eagle on the reverse. What makes the 1965 Washington quarter different? In that year, the U.S. government started producing quarters in a copper-nickel composition, replacing the silver used in earlier coins. However, a few rare errors occurred in the minting process, resulting in a very limited number of 1,965 quarters that contain silver. These unique coins are worth far more than their face value. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare coins, you're looking at something potentially valuable. Coin experts and collectors alike have paid huge amounts for these rare silver-filled 1965 Washington quarters. And how much exactly could one be worth? Well, hold on to your seats, because the highest known sale for one of these coins has reached an incredible $145,000. Top 2. The 1967 Washington quarter is a fascinating piece of American history, and it's not just because of its design. This coin, like all Washington quarters, features George Washington on the front and a powerful eagle on the reverse. But what makes the 1967 Washington quarter particularly intriguing is that it's part of a transitional period in coinage. In 1965, the U.S. government made a major change by removing silver from most coins, including quarters, and replacing it with copper-nickel. However, some unique errors occurred during the minting process in 1967, and these mistakes are what set certain coins apart. A small number of 1,967 quarters were accidentally struck with silver, a rarity that has turned these coins into prized collector's items. While most 1967 quarters aren't worth much more than their face value, the silver-struck errors have gained massive attention. Collectors and coin enthusiasts are always on the lookout for these rare finds. The highest sale of one of these error coins reached an astonishing $135,000. Top 3. The 1970 Washington quarter is another coin that has captured the attention of collectors all across the United States. This quarter features the iconic portrait of George Washington on the obverse and the soaring eagle on the reverse. While it may seem like just another standard coin from the U.S. Mint, there's a surprising twist hidden within its history. In 1970, the U.S. Mint struck millions of quarters as part of regular circulation, but some of these coins were accidentally produced with noticeable errors. Whether due to a die malfunction or other factors, certain 1970 Washington quarters were created with unique characteristics that set them apart from the rest. These error coins have become a rare and valuable find for coin collectors. What's even more remarkable is the incredible value these error coins have achieved. Though most 1970 Washington quarters are worth their face value, the rare error coins have been known to fetch mind-blowing prices at auctions. The highest known sale for one of these coins has reached a staggering $125,000. Top 4. The 1974 Washington quarter is a coin that may not immediately catch your eye, but its story is certainly worth paying attention to. This coin features the timeless portrait of George Washington on the front, and on the reverse, we see the mighty eagle in flight, symbols of strength and unity that represent the United States. But what makes the 1974 Washington quarter stand out in the world of coin collecting? Well, it's a bit of a hidden gem. In the 1970s, the U.S. Mint faced several challenges with its coin production process. The result was a handful of rare and valuable error coins that have since become prized by collectors. The 1974 Washington quarter, though often seen as a regular coin, has some varieties that make it incredibly valuable. Some 1974 quarters were struck with die errors, making them much more rare than the typical ones you'd find in circulation. These unique coins are what collectors are actively searching for, and if you happen to find one, you might be in for a huge surprise. The highest known sale of a 1974 Washington quarter reached an impressive $115,000. Top 5. The 1979 Washington quarter is often overlooked, but it has an intriguing history that makes it stand out in the world of coin collecting. featuring George Washington's portrait on the front and a soaring eagle on the reverse. This coin is a classic example of U.S. coinage. However, hidden among these coins are some that hold a much higher value than you might expect. In 1979, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Washington quarters as part of regular circulation. While most of these coins are still worth just their face value, there are rare varieties and minting errors that make certain 1979 quarters highly sought after. Over the years, collectors have discovered a handful of these error coins, with some featuring unexpected imperfections, which is exactly what makes them valuable. What makes these rare error coins so attractive to collectors? The rarity of finding one and the potential for it to be worth far more than you'd ever imagine. One of the highest-priced 1979 Washington quarters was sold for an astounding $105,000. Top 6. The 1981 Washington quarter may seem like a typical coin, but it holds a fascinating story behind its creation. Featuring the familiar profile of George Washington on the obverse and a majestic eagle on the reverse, this coin is part of the long-standing tradition of U.S. coinage. However, not all 1981 quarters are as ordinary as they appear. While the vast majority of these coins are worth just their face value, a small number were struck with rare minting errors that make them highly valuable. The 1981 Washington quarter is one of those coins that, in the right condition, can become a collector's dream. These error coins, whether due to misprints, off-center strikes, or other imperfections, have earned a reputation for their rarity and potential worth. If you happen to stumble upon one of these rare 1981 quarters, you could be holding a coin worth far more than expected. The highest known sale for one of these rare coins reached an incredible $96,000. Top 7. The 1982 Washington quarter may look like just another standard coin, but it carries with it a fascinating story that collectors can't ignore. Featuring the timeless image of George Washington on the front and the powerful eagle on the reverse, this quarter is a symbol of American history. But hidden beneath its familiar appearance is a rare opportunity for coin enthusiasts. In 1982, the U.S. Mint produced millions of these quarters, but some of them were struck with minting errors that make them highly valuable today. These errors, whether from misalignments, double dies, or other imperfections, are what makes certain 1982 quarters so coveted by collectors. While the typical 1982 quarter is worth just 25 cents, these rare coins have been known to sell for a jaw-dropping amount. If you manage to find one of these error coins, you could be holding on to something far more valuable than you ever imagined. The highest known sale of a 1982 Washington quarter reached an astonishing $93,000. Top 8. The 1984 Washington quarter may not be the first coin that comes to mind when thinking about valuable collectibles, but it certainly deserves more attention than it gets. This quarter features the familiar portrait of George Washington, along with the eagle on the reverse, which are iconic symbols of the United States. However, there's something unique about certain 1984 Washington quarters that makes them special. While most of these quarters were produced in large numbers, a few were struck with rare errors that make them incredibly valuable. These errors, like misprints or off-center strikes, are what makes certain 1984 quarters highly sought after in the coin collecting world. If you happen to find one of these rare error coins, you could be holding on to a valuable piece of U.S. history. The highest known sale for one of these special 1984 quarters reached an impressive $85,000. Top 9. The 1986 Washington quarter is one of those coins that often flies under the radar, but if you dig a little deeper, you'll find there's much more to it than meets the eye. The coin features the familiar image of George Washington on the front, and on the reverse, we see the eagle, a classic symbol of American strength. But not all 1986 quarters are created equal. While most of these quarters are still in circulation and worth only their face value, there are some with rare minting errors. Whether it's an off-center strike or a double die, these error coins have become incredibly valuable to collectors who are always searching for that next big find. The rarity of these coins and the mistakes made during their production are what drive their value up. For those lucky enough to discover a 1986 Washington quarter with one of these errors, the reward can be immense. The highest known sale for one of these rare coins reached an astonishing $82,000. Top 10. The 1965 Washington quarter is one of those coins that holds a special place in the world of numismatics. At first glance, it may seem like just another quarter, but this coin has an interesting twist in its history. The design features George Washington's timeless portrait on the front, with the majestic eagle on the reverse, which has become a symbol of the United States. What makes the 1965 Washington quarter so valuable is a rare twist in its production. In 1965, the U.S. Mint started switching from silver to copper-nickel for most of the coinage, but a small number of 1,965 quarters were accidentally struck with a mix of silver, making them much rarer and more valuable. These silver-filled error coins are incredibly sought after by collectors, and finding one is like striking gold. The rarity of these silver-filled 1965 Washington quarters has caused them to fetch astronomical prices at auctions. In fact, the highest known sale of a 1965 silver error coin reached a staggering $100,000.